All right, everybody, we're going to get started with the Tetrio tournament. Our first match, Jackson REXD Flip Note. We're going to get started with that. If you can make your way to the stage, get your controls set up, and we'll be on our way as soon as that is ready. All right. Oh, there we go. I need to move this a little bit. All right. If both of our players are ready, we're going to get started with the match here. We get a confirmation from both players that we're ready to go. All right, then we'll hit the start button, and good luck. All right, we got Jack on the left, REXD Flip Note on the right. Jack looking at a perfect clear, not going for it. Classic 09 stacking on the right side here. I'm going to stack up first squad. Jack retaliating a strong spike 12 from the right side. Jack will get cleared down on that quite high up. I have danger zone. At the top has a way out. Late rotation on that side, going to give REXD Flip Note first point. Second point opening with an interesting starting bag. Jack reattempting perfect clear, gonna have the setup, and there's an opportunity there. Not quite finding it. Gonna keep that. Moving it into a 6 or a 5-4 stack is gonna be a great way to recover that. Go down stack's gonna open up the well. Flipnote setting up a T-spin and a perfect garbage well placement adds to that pressure. 10 spike, which Jack is just gonna barely be able to get out of. Consistent stacking there, but that pressure's keep pushing up. Have to find an out soon. Sets up for the T-spin. He is just 2 pieces too far in the queue and not going to be able to get to it in time. 2-0. Second point opens, and it's a tough bag. Jack's going to look for a DT cannon and misdrop on the Z piece. Now Flipnote's got the DT ready. Lands the first one, second for a 12 spike, and Jack's board is very hard to accommodate that. Gonna be in position, but the well on the 09 stack for Flipnote's just too strong. Very close to that down stack actually, but it's gonna be 3-0 from here. On that stack, what are we going to see? Just some classic no opener gaming here. That stack, but no running. Oh, that's a misdrop, running at 1.9 pieces a second. Finds a good recovery for it though. Jack's built a Spire and has to have a lot of dependencies to get that down. To burn an eye on the quad, but not enough on the other side. Runs out of pieces to place on the other side. Instead, it's going to be a 4-0 game. Opening here, we're seeing a PCO against just classic stacking 9-0 from Jack. Flipnote looking at the PC, tries to find one, doesn't have it. There was no PC on that field. Opens with some 1-8, and that's going to be a tough position. Needs an S to fit in there. Gets the spin correctly, though. Strong attack from Jack. Might be in a difficult position with that. Bird Hole gonna have to break back to back at least a couple times to get down. Jack's board got a little bit of mess on it, but still has a lot of attacking potential here. The strong and consistent 09 from Flipnote's gonna be a lot of pressure. Jack's about 5 pieces away from that T. Finds a down stack to it though. It's going to last him long enough to get another play out and put Flipnote on the pounce just a little too fast. 5-0. Opening bag early-o gives you a lot of opportunities. We're seeing a mirrored PC. Opportunities there. Mishold from Jack. Misses it. Maybe a 12 attack from Flipnote. See how the down stack plays. Has to cover up the hole a little bit on the attack. Has some opportunity here still. It's going to need to come quick before the next attack comes. Jack's finding the survival, finding it just barely. Tough position left and barely too high to get out of that. Match point here, 6-0. Looking at a DT cannon. Going for the first one early there, not going to hit it with the combo. That's almost better. Take the second one as a double instead. Almost perfect position. But no, having a misdrop there on the left side, on that right side. Opens the hole, needs a spin. And just barely has that. Pressure is able to be resolved here with a nice down stack from Jack. And opens that well back up for some survival opportunities. Ability to pressure back is looking good for Jack right here. Slight hole in the stack is going to be a little bit tricky. Flipnote taking his time with that 9-0 stack. Play some combo off of it. Doesn't hit the quad in the combo. T-spin on the 20th column. And that's going to be a 17 spike to end the match. What a play to end that. Libno taking the first match. Yeah, good. All right, and we're going to move on to our second match. We have Poochie EXE and Mr. Link 2K. I'm going to put Mr. Link 2K on the right, Poochie EXE on the left, please. All right, if both players are ready, signal, and we can get started with the match. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Second match, we've got Mr. Link 2K on the right, and we have Poochie EXE on the left. Looking at PCO on this right side for Mr. Link 2K, standard 09 stack, open with a quad from Link. Use some setups open on that right there, covering up in just a perfect way. Slightly interesting spot on there, covering up too high a little bit. Link had an opportunity to counter spike here, a little bit high, but just low enough to be able to get the attack out. It's in a tough spot, but that misdrop is not going to help, unfortunately for him. The pressure is not quite there yet. Going to be able to have some time to get out. Gets out with a large combo to a quad with an 8 spike coming out of that. Large opener on that 4th column for Poochie. Link's getting open to that well again. Set up for a T-spin. Hits that. I was up looking to reverse that well open, but it's just the garbage is falling in just the wrong spot. The imp cross for Poochie there is going to be a really strong attack. Link just barely getting out of that. The misdrop on that J is not going to help at all. Tough decision for Poochie where to place that. Going to take the T-spin there for a single. Link's high on top too. Both of them in a tough position. Maneuvering a T over is going to be good for 4 damage. Both of them in a tough spot. Poochie's got a lot of dependency in this hole. Nowhere that can go is good, and Link's going to take point number 1. Point number 2 open. We'll see where these players go. Looking again, just basic stats. Link is going to go for a PC and gets the first PC. Easy spot for counter spike means Link's not going to have number 2. And taking a triple is going to be good for 2 damage. In a tough spot, Poochie it might be enough. It's T-spin single for 2. Strong quad spike gonna go into a 3 combo, dealing a couple extra damage. T-spin with back-to-back is gonna be good for 5. Poochie running up back-to-back onto killing that there, but have a couple extra attacks where you get 1 extra damage with that back-to-back. Link's got a strong 09 or 9-0, but needs to get through to that well to get back into a safe position. He's been double there. Is going to put Link into a tough spot. Just barely getting there in time and going to be good for a quad off of the 2 combo. Not a ton of extra damage, but most importantly gets him out of that position. Link struggling a little bit, puts a couple pieces over that well in a spot where you do not want to see, and builds up to 2 dependencies, and that's going to be enough to equalize it to 1-1. Seeing more of the same PCO for Link in just a normal basic stacking. Link has an opportunity, gets it for 11 tack, and that's an unfortunate misdrop, which means if Link has the pressure right here, could be good. That 1 damage though gets through, and so it's not going to be able to be good for PC, but another tough spot on that well might just mean that with the right combination it could be over, but a quad's going to be land for 4 damage. Both of them now in an equal spot. Link going for a 5 attack, putting right up to the top. It needs to get through quickly. That quad down stack's going to equalize things very close. A strong attack towards Link is be interesting. That 6 combo, that 6 damage, yeah, that's too high. Just barely, not enough to get down. 2-1. stacking there. Not going to get out in time. Link did not have a PC anyway. He's going to hit back for a quad. Good 7 good 7 damage on that combo. But those unfortunate drops there are going to put Link a little further behind. A tough up stack there is going to be hard for Link to make it down. Meanwhile, we've got an 0-9 from Pucci here. Link trying to resolve the stack, and it's going to be just barely possible. He's down stack, and Link has not enough time to get down with the quad. Enough to open the well, but not enough. Just 2 pieces too late. It could be 3-1. Going into point number 5 of this set, Link has a opening cue he likes to see. That's a misplacement he doesn't like to see. A padded PC opportunity there, but not going to have it. 180 spin would have hit in that hole. Another just slightly tough position for Link here. Has an opportunity pretty close here to get to the well. Needs to play it right, and plays it right. Opens for a 6 damage quad. Placement from Link here. Just barely open enough. It finds the down stack for 6 damage. Good stuff. Opens the next quad well. And it might be a good position. Pooch uses stack on the left here is a little bit tough, but Link misdrops good for a quad. Is that going to be enough? Just barely not enough. Position here a little bit hard to play from. Needs to find his down quickly. Hole's only open by 1, but the stack is a little bit too jagged on the stack there. It's not going to have enough placement for those OJ and L's. Now it's going to be 4-1. Hole made open. Link's going to go for a PC, but doesn't have one in the bags. Opportunity transitioning into 9-0 stacking. See the T-hole, but might be overcommitting a little bit to that T-hole. Has to kill that there for a double only. It's given Link a chance to find his footing here in this match. Opens with a double into a little bit of a combo there. Not going to be worth a ton. That commit there is going to add a little bit of difficulty. Gets it in with the S-spin. Link's looking to get down to the hole he made for himself, but it's just a little bit too hard for him. That attack could be really close to hitting ceiling. Finds a bit of the down stack, but not all of it. Going to be 5-1. Going to point number 6. Link's going for that DT cannon. From Pucci, we're seeing all of that same, just normal get to mid game. Link stacked it up. Maybe taking on 5 from that hit. Hits it for 1-2. Misses the second spin. Those spins can be difficult in a DT cannon. You miss one of them, and it not only doesn't count for the spin, but puts your board in just a very dangerous position. And dangerous enough that it's not going to outlast Pucci's pressure here. 6-1 match point. See if Link pulls anything out here to keep it going. There's a misdrop on the PCO. Look on opposite side DT cannon for Pucci here. Burns a T on the stack, but has the second one. So it's going to be good for back-to-back, but not for combo. Link just has too many dependencies, and that's going to be the game. 7-1. All right, in our next match, we're going to be moving on to loser side with Mr. Link 2K and Jack. Link can stay on the right side there. Jack will take the left, give Jack a chance to set up his controls. All right, and we're going to be moving on to loser semifinals with Mr. Link 2K and Jack. And we'll get a confirmation for both of them that they're ready, and then we'll go into the match. All right, they're both ready. We're going to get started here in 3, 2, 1. And here goes Mr. Link 2K on the right. We have Jack now on the left here and fighting for an elimination. Early Jack's going to set up for TKI while Link is just running a natural stack. Pulls in for first T-spin. That's a tough spot to continue that. Converts it into a 1-8, which is a little bit tough to maintain. Not very sustainable as 1-8 stacking. Jack realizing that if he put that T-spin there, wouldn't be able to go in for the quad. Or the other way, sorry. Quad wouldn't have been able to fit the T-spin in because you're only 4 high. He continues that for a good back-to-back. Link's looking at the top and trying to decide what he wants to do. And a T-spin for there. Jack having to clear that stack without hitting the quad. Opens it up into a really nice setup for a T-spin. They're going to clear that one. Has one more to get to the well. Opens up that well. Clears it for only a double. And Jack setting up a potential TSD here. Avoiding that, it was a really tough one. There's not a lot of combinations of pieces that could have worked for that. Jack's finding a down stack, getting open. Link's up top, got a lot of clean garbage to go through. 5, 6 damage from that. 7 continuing the attack, and 11's gonna hit for enough to kill. Link taking the first point of the set. All right, point number 2. We'll see what they like in this bag. Jack again gonna look for a TKI, while Link's just gonna open with 9-0. First for 4, opens on the wrong side of the board for Link. That's gonna be a tough one to get through. You have to get exactly the right number of pieces down in order to transition that well. Now Jackson hold back to back and continue there with another T-spin for 5 points of damage. Link trying to decide where he wants that. Another strong attack from Jack. And now Jack's going to take the point, equalizing at 1-1. Who we like here? The TKI friendly bag. That's going to go for something I've never seen before. Link going for a... Oh! BT cannon with a 1 in 10 perfect garbage. Not high enough. Wait, it is high enough. Perfect for 12 there and has the well open for another one. Enough to be in. Jack's gonna barely find his way out. Enough to send a quad back. Link's got in a very big time crunch to be able to get an attack out fast enough, and Jack's gonna take the point. Very crazy garbage for Link there. Had that 1 in 10 chance if you get it on the DT cannon where it lines up perfectly. It opens a 3rd T-spin off of the opener and it opens the quad well. Link just barely not having enough to do it. Jack gonna go for that opener BT cannon again. We see it a lot from these people here today. Meanwhile, Link looking like he's just favoring that 09 stacking right now. That can be in that. It sends 12. It's a 4 plus an 8, which is really clean garbage for your opponent. So it's a bit of a tough one to pull off correctly. Gonna kill the thing, and Jack has an interesting stack here, but Link's gonna cover up a lot of his own well. That strong attack's gonna go to Link. A lot of holes in that. Have to dig his way out. Jack finding the clear to open that up. Sends it in for a TST quad combo for 10. That's gonna be just too much garbage for Link. 3-1. Playing first to 7 here. Early this is an interesting bag. Not a lot you can do with it. I used to know what this is called. Jack missing it! No, man. But Link's got the well set up. Gonna send a lot of pressure to Jack. So setting up Jack for a T-spin single there. I don't know what exactly the plan is for Jack here. It's probably just survival. It's just barely gonna be too high. Yeah, just barely too high. Link's gonna take his 2nd point. Evenly matched here between these two. 3, 2, 1. We'll see what they play for game number 6 here. Link going for that PCO. Jack taking his time. Link with a quad PC for 14. You do not see a lot of those. There's only a very few specific combinations that can get you there. Wells 4 high. They need to be sure not to clear any singles if he wants to get that quad. Gets the quad. Overstacks a little bit. Trying to get out. Well is open for Link. Fills a quad into that hole. Has an eye dependency on that side, which is going to be really hard for him because he wants to send pressure back, but can't with that well open. Going to send it with a quad there. Link is not in a position where he can accept that garbage. And Jack's board is just... Jack's board's a little bit tough to work with here. Link's getting that open, almost wrong direction on that T there, but opens it for a quad. And a second quad back-to-back is going to be enough to put Jack out for here. Tied at 3s. All right, we'll see what people go with here. We're looking at TKI for Jack. Link's just going to stack. Clean first. T-spin for Jack there. Link's going to do something. Link's going to open. Link's going to cover up that well a little bit. Has an opportunity to get back here, though, with a good combo. Almost getting back into that well, making it a little bit more difficult there. But opens up that well again. Plays a nice skim on that double. And is going to have position to attack now here. Does not continue with the back-to-back mini, but it's going to be enough to keep him alive in this game for a little bit longer. Jack's going to have the down stack. Link covering up as well a little bit more. But Jack's not really in a position to pressure too hard. It's going to put a little bit of pressure on him, which is probably the right move, but Link getting to the down stack just barely fast enough. Jack's going to be ready for more pressure, sending the Link there. This is a really strong attack from Jack, especially for the position Link's in. Link fighting for his life over here. It's in the danger zone. Playing on that row 18 really, really well. Clearing a triple to put him back in a good position. And now Jack's got a lot of cheese built up from the small amounts of attack that Link's been putting out here. That cheese is coming back to haunt him. While now that Link's opened up some attacking position, it's going to be enough to take the point. Jack falling to that cheese that Link's been sending over and over again through that point. Now we're at 3-4. Jack, opposite openers again. Link going for a PC. Doesn't have a PC. Jack's going to go for that DT cannon we've been seeing. Hits the first one for 4. Doesn't combo, but second will be good for 7. There it is. And now has a pseudo 4-wide, only 2 residue there. Is not going to be enough to properly do it. But with that hole opening up in just the right spot for Jack, able to set up a T-spin overhang for it. Back-to-back quad for 2 Link. And it's just Jack's board was in a good spot, but just a little bit too high to be able to continue that. 3-5 here. Link only needs 2 more points to be able to advance. Link hitting that perfect clear. Jack to send some garbage back too fast for Link to be able to set up for his second. But it's going to go in a good garbage well. Number 9 for Link there. And sets it up right with a right position for an overhang. Has to dig a little bit to get to that T. It's about 5 back. Does it fast enough. And now Link's in a good position. Jack has some pressure. 5 high is the perfect height for a T-spin quad there. Going to be a lot of pressure. Link's able to cancel it pretty well, though. Jack with a little bit of a tough position there has to either decide to try to finagle that iron somehow. And not going to quite be able to do that. And is in a position where he needs this down stack really quickly before Link sends any more pressure. As it gets a quad open for a quad, it's really good for him because it gives him a chance to survive. As I say that, though, Link to send just enough pressure to put him over. 3-6 game point for Link. Fight to stay alive in this tournament. Now Jack going for that same old reliable DT cannon. Links it to send a PC. PC is really dangerous against DT because if you get the PC, it puts you really, really high. DT cannon's an opener where you have to commit to it for a while. 4 damage is going to be enough. And it's going to be enough to put Jack out. The Link moves on to Losers Finals. Congratulations. For next match, we're going to be moving into the Winners Finals. So, RXD Flipnote and Poochie EXE, if you will come onto the stage. And we will have you get your controls situated, and then you'll be ready to go. Alright, it looks like both players ready. If we can get a confirmation on that. Alright, we'll get this match started now. Winners Finals here. We'll get it started over here in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, Winners Finals here. We got Poochie EXE on the left and RXD Flipnote on the right. Opening missing. Oh no, that is not a miss. I forget that that's how you can do that. You can open with a great DT for 12 damage. 13 is a strong enough spike. Typical position and going to be taking the first point in 13 seconds really quick for their advantage with that DT cannon. If you get a strong start with it, you can do a lot of damage really quickly. Opening again now with SDBC. Second T-spin in here, looking for that perfect combo, and has it for 12. A really strong spike and a good counter for that. It's going to mean only accepts 3 lines. Open that T-spin well into a quad and now has no garbage left on that field. Had a good clear. Both players on that very baseline. Good. Poochie, you're going to look for that. Look for a T-spin out of that. No, Flipnote's back down to basics. Those walls are looking really good for Flipnote. Has a good combo spike. 3 combos going to add a lot of damage to that quad. Poochie's on the top. Has to dig a while to get to those eyepieces, but gets there just in time. Double drop there is going to be a little bit unfortunate. Going to have to change that plan. Meanwhile, the pressure is going to start to come from over on this right side. Good resolution of that quad. Going to soak up the damage into a double quad, and a well transition is going to be enough to take a extra point. All right, point 3 here. Flipnote taking a little bit of time to decide what opener to go for. We're going to open with the PCO setup. Not going to be able to have one there. Good read on not attempting that. Meanwhile, a little bit of messiness on this side for Poochie. Has a good spin on that S. It's what you need to do to get down there. Reads the down stack good. Opens up that well. It's not fully clean, but enough to get the quad, enough to get down just a little bit more, which will help for survival. But the pressure might be a little bit too strong coming over here from Flipnote. Oh, it was looking good. It was looking good, but that misdrop on the L which would have opened up the well, unfortunately means that it got blocked a little bit further. Opening with an early O in this bag. And we're going to see Flipnote taking that opportunity to do a 3 PPS DT cannon. Taking the second one as a double instead. Just went for it a little early. Definitely a fine way to do that. We got the double out here from Poochie. This takes a little bit extra time to get to that triple. Luckily for Flipnote there, it's not going to be in a spot where he cannot handle it. He's been single with just that consistent down stack right there. It's going to be enough to take point number 4. For 0, see if we see anything different on this point. Looking at an attempted SDPC, but one too far over with that J is going to be a position where you don't have a lot of opportunities to dig out of there. Continues with that confidence, which is going to allow him to do a slightly harder version of that down stack. That slightly harder version is going to pay off, though. Both players now back into neutral. Flipnote a little bit now to work through. Everything moves so fast, you don't see it sometimes. Great down stack for 12. Attempting to continue that, but a good read on the recovery there. After misdropping that, found the right way to get back. Takes a double there, has a little bit of an uneven stack. Has one of those stacks where you can try to go for a T-spin off it, but decides not to, instead taking a more defensive approach. Now a 7 damage there from that down stack combo from Pucci, but the garbage is really cheesed out, and Flipnote's on an even board here. Manages to build a T hole, but not going to find an overhang in time. So instead, going to abort that and just go for a more methodical down stack. Great read on that down stack, though. Unfortunately, has built a bit of dependencies on the side. And with a strong attack from Pucci, puts Flipnote into a dangerous spot. Finds the one down stack there that leads to that well being opened. It's very close again. Pucci on the perfect read there. Flipnote seemed to open up here. Just got a little bit of cheese left to go through. Pucci on the other side there has that opening as well. And gets all the way back down to base, sending some cheese back over in the process. Going that with 2 T-spins on the way down into a triple is going to be a lot of extra pressure. The senior from Pucci taking great opportunities to send some attack in during the down stack. Right here, had a down stack, decides to go for a stronger version of it, which will send more. It's going to lead to a lot of attack being sent. It's down to a matter if Flipnote can survive that pressure. But Pucci back on the top. Needs to open that well, finds the open. And clears a T-spin off of that too. 4 high, which means that that quad is going to kill the opportunity for a T-spin, which seems perfectly fine in this situation. And manages to find a DT sitting in that. Flipnote having to burn out of that hole, that double hole that set up for himself. The only way to survive that is to burn out of it, especially at that height. Flipnote opening up the well. See if he just goes for it. Yep. Opportunity to set a T-spin up, but down stacking is more important than sending that attack sometimes. Powerful play from both minutes, and we're 3 minutes and 20 seconds into this point, deep into margin time now. As we're deep into a match, what happens is garbage or attacks start sending more and more per attack in an effort to keep games down and not last forever. Gravity is going super fast, and both players now will be sending more damage for every single attack they send. Strong 7 attack from Flipnote is going to be countered by 8 from Pucci. Double there's, oh, and opening in with a combo. 14, 16 damage is going to be enough. That's what happens when you get into that 4-minute point. Yes. Round of applause from the crowd for just how crazy that point was. And now a bit of adjustment players are going to have to make for the blocks going slow again. Flipnote sending it in with a great SDPC. Finds the read for it with a 12's attack, and there is nothing you can do in that position with that much garbage being sent to you. 1-5. Next bag, we see that early O. Again, nobody's going to use it for SDPC. Instead, we're going to be seeing it for a PCO and just a normal stack. The players have propelled themselves into a mid-game position, both on the ground with little to no garbage in sight. Both playing just under 2 pieces a second. Seeing a good stride there from Flipnote, and it's going to be worth 2 quads. Looks for it again. Fought off the combo, having to break back-to-back to do that, but it could be worth it in the end. Pucci covering up the hole a little bit in favor of burning through that down stack. Decision of a defensive versus offensive play. Hitting the quad up really high there. Both players have a little bit of cheese they have to work through to get to their clean. If one of them gets through as fast as the other, it could spell disaster. But both of them canceling each other's attacks out on the bottom there. Flipnote working through some more garbage there. I think a quad triple, only 7 high on that means you're not going to get a lot of attack. Not as much nearly as you would have gotten for 2 quads just going 1 row higher. Enough for a quad there, and a tough T placement is going to make it a little bit harder to down stack. Another 4 damage is going to put a tough position, but since Flipnote misplaced that O there, is going to have no ability to pressure further than that. If he could have kept pressuring, it would have been enough to kill, but since there was no pressure there, Fuji made it out. And Aurora fighting back with a 7 attack. Decent signal over on that left side there. Both players fighting it out. We're going to see maybe another long match. Players seem very evenly matched here. Triple's going to be worth 4. A bit of a tough, having to leave a hole there. Enough to get a quad off of it. But going to have to find a time to work through that hole one way or another. Finds the time pretty early on. And both players back into a low neutral position 2.5 minutes into the point. Flipnote's opened a large attacking position. And Fuji is very high on the board here. Was eyeballing a TST over on the left half of that board, but besides, there is no way to make that work. Even deciding against that, the T-spin on that down stack. I think down stacks are more important right here. Needs to get that well open in column 10, so you can get way down. Pressure from Flipnote's going high and going into margin time again. Second point in a row where we're going to be seeing attacks worth more because the game has lasted long enough. Not only are attacks worth more, it's harder to play because you have faster pieces. Good mini TSS on that down stack, playing in column 19. Finding the well opener, doing a great skim there to get in, and is finding a way back down. Great stacking decision. That attack from Flipnote is just a little bit too little and a little bit too late. By that time, Fuji's found the down stack. We're closing in on that 4-minute mark. Just barely not having it with another very long point. 6-1. Match point winner of this match is going into grand finals. Loser will have to fight it out in losers finals for a chance to move on. We're seeing Flipnote looking at another DT with a 20 attack because of the quad well. Will be the game. Both of them with a well-fought match. The 2 very long matches are going to be tough for both of them. We're going to be moving into losers finals with Poochie versus Mr. Link 2K. Let Poochie stay on the left here, and Link can set up on the right. All right, and if both players are ready, we'll be getting into this losers finals match. Both giving me the thumbs up, which means it's time to start the match. We'll be going off in 3, 2, 1, go. Versus 7 again here, losers finals. We have Poochie EXE on the left. Mr. Link 2K is going to be on the right here, fighting for a chance to make it into grand finals. Those players playing that nice and flat game. Poochie going to take a T-spin out of it. Link having a little bit of trouble with that stack there. No eye in sight. Eye is what you need to clear that up. You would need to dig for it pretty fast. All right, we're going to take a quick pause, actually, in this match. We have a little bit of a graphics setting issue. We're going to restart the game. We're going to restart the game. This give Mr. Link 2K a chance to fix some graphic settings that were causing some issue. Once we get these fixed, we'll be starting in just a moment. All right, we're ready again, so we'll be getting started in 3, 2, 1. There we go. We're seeing more competent placement from Link. Probably had a little bit of lag on that graphic setting, whatever. But we got that resolved, and we're back in. Decent single there from Poochie. Putting back up into an open well with a long combo. Going to be great for some cheese to help hurt Link later in the game. Playing at a really high height, though. It's not going to be enough. 1-0. Alright, starting in the queue, starting I, J, and Z. Early queue. Link gonna go for a PC off of that. Doesn't have it, but is able to convert with a T-spin there. Poochie having to cover up a bit there. Has to cover up a bit there to get open, but sends 10 attacks. Link's lucky to be in a 09 stack there, which is perfect for that kind of thing. If you have a lot of garbage incoming, it's perfect to have a 9-0 stack because it means you can take a IP spin. You can take an eyepiece and just run right down with it. Like when he's setting a T-spin into a quad, good for 10 damage. 5 more with a great down stack opportunity. Poochie having to decide between offense and defense here. Takes that down stack. Link hasn't been able to pressure yet. Sends 4, which all cancels an attack that Poochie had just sent. Now Poochie's back into a low position. Link has some cheese to work through before he can get to an attacking position again. Up high on the board there. Has the down stack though. He's been single on the dono. A great attack there. Link covering up that hole. Needs to find an opener to get through to that. Finds a way to get down there, but has 2 pieces to clear for his next hole. Finds the attack and actually gets the down stack in on time. Poochie's going to be looking to send some pressure back to Link while Link is in a position where he just needs to go. He needs to go so he can get down to the hole. Unfortunately, he has to burn that eyepiece going down with not enough speed. Wanted to save that for the well there, but wasn't able to, and it's going to put the game at 2-0. Link's going to go for another PCO setup, not having it. And Poochie with that same T-spin double opener. Link setting some damage off the quad. Link finding a good down stack combo. Makes a good decision there to move that into a T-spin. Really good choice there for Link to extend that attack a little bit further than just straight down stacking would have. And gets the overhang there, hunting for that next T-piece. Just knows that he needs to abort that decision because it was too slow. Really good decisions there, but just not enough speed to overcome the attacks that Poochie was sending. 3-0. Seeing Link go for it there. Has the opportunity, gets the all clear in. Unfortunately, that all clear comes in as 1 attack based on the way it was, so it's going to be a lot of clean, and that clean's going to come right back to him with the counterplay. 4-0, 3 points left for Poochie. He gets all of those, makes it into grand finals. Link sends that perfect clear. Same situation as before. It's a lot of clean. Needs to keep himself in a low position so that when that counter spike comes, he's ready for it. Has a tough position there with 4 wide. Not a lot you can do. Puts it back into a neutral spot. Poochie has set up a dono over that hole. Opens the well again for a 10 attack. Really good board vision there. Putting it back to 5-0. This is a tough queue to do a lot with. Link sending a perfect clear. Sending it for 11 attack. It comes in 2, so it has 1 layer of cheese to get through before that well's back open. Well's open, sends it in for a quad. Does do a little bit of burning on it, so it's not going to be a crazy strong attack on the counter spike. That's 5 more. Link needs to get to a hole. He needs to get to it fast. covers up that well a little bit in an unfortunate position. Has 2 more to get through before he can start down stacking again. Attacking, Link has some really good vision on the opponent. Knows that when that attack is coming in, he needs to go down before he can start attacking, even though there are some positions where he'd much rather be attacking. Finds a T-spin up on row 16 and opens up that well again, which is great. There's a lot of cheese on the board for high. Enough for him to get that counterplay in. Does another attack. Strong fight back from Poochie, but Link's going to be able to find his way out. Link again, knowing that he can't risk it there. But despite that, there's still a strong enough attack from Poochie. He's going to be putting it up to match point. Link finding the all clear. Poochie canceling a little bit of it and accepting the rest of it as clean is going to be a really strong position into the counterplay. Link needs to find that hole open fast. Link's gotten it open. Can he keep it open enough to get to the eyepiece? Has 2 to get through. Oh, and just ran out of rotations on that, putting it at the game. And we're going to be moving into Grand Finals. Our XD flip note we'll be putting on the left, and we'll be starting in a few minutes. All right, we'll be getting into our Grand Finals now. Our XD flip note on the right here is on winner's side, and he only needs 1 match to win. Poochie XD on the left needs to win 2. Both players ready to start? All right, we've got that confirmation. We'll be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Exciting match we have on our hands. We've seen them play in winners finals, so we'll be getting to see another match between the two. We're seeing a very fast DT cannon over here from Flipnote. Has a little bit of a struggle with it. Has had to burn that L there. Send it in for 12, 13, 14, 15. Displays a crazy attack there. 20 damage in total from that attack is going to be, it's a whole board worth. You have to do something against that. Poochie not having the play there. We're seeing PC versus a double opener. PC's going to hit. But Poochie accepting a little bit, canceling the rest, and finding that right down stack. Poochie's on the strong foot here. Flipnote's going to have a lot to do to get into attacking position. Both players with a little bit of pull. A dono on that hole there is going to be worth some attack from Poochie. And a great find for that TSD there. Puts it into a tied game 1-1. All right, we've got Flipnote looking on very strong again on that DT, but missing the rotation there. If you miss that rotation, there's not a lot you can do against it. Has good board sense though to find the triple. Well, we're looking at a 6-3 stack from Poochie. Very strong and a very fast stack you can do. It's worth a lot of damage. You can get. It's one of the stacks where you get the most pieces per second. Now we're seeing Flipnote on the right here with that 9-0 stack. Has a 3 high well. Deciding to burn through that. And meanwhile, on the left here, Poochie's got that hole that there's not a lot you can do about it. But it's set up for a good single there. And does well to get back down. Both players have a good amount of cheese to work through. Have to get through it before they can start thinking about sending a very strong attack. Flipnote burning it down with some doubles here. And well, T-spin double over here in a quad into it. Good for an 11 attack. It's too much. It's too much there for Flipnote. 2-1. Early O back here. Flipnote will be taking the opportunity to attempt but misplace a SDPC. And unfortunately, that misplace has put him in a position where there's not a lot you can do out of this. You have a lot to burn down before you can get into an attacking position. Finds a really smart down stack, though. Is mostly taking care of getting back into a neutral spot, but a strong attack from Poochie's going to have one last thing to say about it. Wells open for a triple. Takes that triple, sends some combo out with it, too. Attacks for a quad to 3 combo on the down stack is going to be enough to put both into a neutral position. But just like that, Flipnote has taken the advantage here really high there for Poochie, and it's going to be a strong enough spike to put it 2-2. We'll see what we have here. Looking again on that SDPC, gonna land it this time. See if we get the PC out of it. And we do with a quad PC for 16. And there's not a lot you can do against 16. Staring down an early O again. Looking at this time from... No, we're looking at a DT cannon. And 4. Does a very nice piece maneuvering to get that L back to the other side. In time for that quad. Pieceman double's going to be worth a little bit more damage. On the high ground for Poochie there. Needs to find the down stack quick. Gets to the eye fast enough. Combos it with a Pieceman. Oh, and a lot of attack in just a short time. Flipnote's found the open well. Both sides are very high, but they've got a lot of clean to work through, too, on the down stack. Bending that T-spin double for Poochie there in favor of going for the quad down stack. Quads get you further down, which is the decision there. And Poochie has found the well. Meanwhile, Flipnote is back on the low ground. Good for a quad, and both players are in a very neutral position here. Nobody's on this strong attacking front. Both players looking to build up their next attack. Wells open for Poochie. Takes it down with it. Left side well. Quad off of a 4 combo is going to be good for 9. Triple there, 3 high on the well. Clears it for a triple. Not the best thing you want to see there, but gets the well back open. Now both players back down to the bottom of their board just like that. Now Poochie's high, but gets a really strong attack, 15 with a back-to-back times 2. Flipping the positions of players both around. That's a really strong attack from Poochie, equalizing it at 3-3. With a very sizable match length there too. 4 more points needed to win this set. Looking at the SDPC, Flipnote's looked really strong with this opener so far today. Finds a PC off of it for a 21 damage, 23 total, and that's a spike that's going to get you very far regardless of who you are. Winning next, we see early O again. Flipnote not taking it to do SDPC, even though he's showing he's good with that opener. Instead, going to find an all clear there early with PCO. A lot of clean, and it happens to be 6-0 for Poochie there. Turning for 4. Flipnote's really close to a very large stack of clean. Finds it open, sends it for a double quad for 14. Getting it off of combo helped a lot there. Poochie just getting down just fast enough. Just fast enough on that column 18. Single there. And both players now back to neutral, except Flipnote has now found a lot of cheese they're going to have to work through to get the next point. Could be another equalizer here. But Flipnote has seemed to find a very good down stack. To be close on that one. Back out of danger zone, but just back in it right away. Tied at 4. 3 more points for each to win this. Fuji's going to need it to stay in. Meanwhile, a win from Flipnote here would take the match. DT Tandem's looking good. Misdrop on that second tee. A lot less disastrous than it would have been with the first. Good for double there, though. Finds the T-spin overhang, contemplates it a little bit. Gonna kill it for no damage, which is probably the right choice there, considering he had to get right back onto defense. 4 damage there on the attack. Flipnote in a high position. That's an unfortunate position, but it could be worse. Very high. You see that red flashing. He's gonna find it, gets the well open, and sends a quad in time so that the attack would not be fatal. Good read on that swap there. It lets you have a better continuation there to open that well again. And he's been into a quad. Fuji just has a little bit too much cheese there from that downstack from Flipnote. That downstack built the cheese. That final attack pushed it over the limit. 5-4. Seeing it. I don't think I've seen the same opener twice yet. Both players in a position where they're kind of low on the board, not a lot of attacking material to work with, no imminent threats. Except for the fact that Fuji's got a lot of cheese sitting there. Has been made from a couple misdrops. Finds an overhang to send some damage. Damage is going to help in the downstack because it means that Flipnote's going to have a little bit more cheese to have to work through. And we saw that win earlier, which was taken from just a cheese built up over an entire downstack, which was enough to block for the final attack. Fuji's got a really good board set up here. 10 damage from that T-spin into a quad is a really strong attack. It's bread and butter. But Flipnote finds himself on the low ground. Tournament point here for Flipnote. What will we see? We're seeing a DT Cannon. Taking that a bit slower. Good for 12. Taking it a bit slower after seeing a mistake on it earlier. It has a really fast stride here. 2.5 pieces a second. Really hard to play against that fast, but it's going to take the tournament there 7-4. Congratulations, particularly RXD Flipnote, our winner for the SGDQ 2024 Tetrio bracket. And that's going to be all for us today here on Tetrio. If you are at all interested, today is the today on the speedrun gauntlet over towards the right here is going to be Tetris. Actually, NES Tetris is going to be one of those games on the speedrun gauntlet. It's open till tomorrow at 2 p.m. So if you are interested in that, if you're interested in more Tetris, there is more Tetris to be played. But in the meantime, that's all for us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everybody who participated.